Good afternoon, everybody. I am excited to talk to you today about swim technique drills involving the catch, pull, and finish phases of your stroke. Okay, and essentially the purpose of these drills is to improve propulsion with better technique. And we're going to talk about the catch first, and then we'll finish off with pull and finish. Okay, let's first talk about the catch. General incorrect ways in which the catch is performed. Most often you'll see people dropping their elbow during the catch and their hand skiing upwards towards the surface. The goal is really to have a high elbow catch, so you are able to create a good paddle formation as you swim. And then when you talk about pull, there's several ways in which the pull is manifested incorrectly when you swim. Sometimes the pull is really wide away from the alignment with your shoulder. Sometimes it's far underneath the body and crosses over that midline of the body. Other times the arm is really straight during the pull. And then there's other times when the elbow actually leads the hand through the pull, which is creating what's known as slip. So those are several different elements of an incorrect pull. Correct pull really is that you want to have some degree of angular bent here at the elbow. And that can range anywhere from about 100, 110, all the way up to maybe 120 degrees. You want to have a arcing motion where you can actually create a paddle formation, and then that paddle formation is manifested here where you can see the hand and the elbow, and it's all aligned with the shoulder, so that you maximize your propulsion. And you can kind of see all that in action here with this individual on the left. Elbow is dropping, hand is skiing, and then they're leading with their elbow as they pull. Versus in this video, you can see the hand is elbow staying high, getting a nice arcing pattern, creating a nice paddle formation. And that is driving through back past the shoulder, creating a lot of good propulsion. Okay, so when we talk about correcting the catch and the pull, why are we doing that? What's the purpose behind that? First, we want to support what's known as early vertical forearm position. And this is the position where you create that arcing manner during the catch, so that when you're pulling through the water, you're creating a nice, good paddle formation. Also, you want to maintain ideal hand and arm position so that the arm is at that 100, 110 degree angle, and it's not straight, it's not wide or misaligned from the shoulder, those type of things. You want to be sure that you're minimizing the surface area for effective propulsion, and maximizing the surface area for effective propulsion and lift. And you're enhancing that feel for the water, that that ability to feel like your arm and your hand are creating a nice paddle formation. And then of course you want to enhance that arm and hand finish, so that you're getting a complete finish and maximizing your propulsion after you're completed the pull and right before your recovery phase. So those are the reasons why we want to correct any inconsistencies in your catch and pull. So how do we do that? What are some of the drills that we're going to do? Here's a list of those primary drills: the fish drill, catch or front sculling, or the vertical sculling drill, the paddle grab, and the thumb to hip. So we're going to cover each one of those. And in doing each one of these drills, I typically recommend to do these in 50-yard sets, where you'll do 25 yards of drill and 25 yards of swim. The swim follows the drill in order to take advantage of practicing the drill right after you've done it, and incorporating that into your normal swimming, sort of a muscle memory type of thing. Okay, so let's first talk about the fish drill. Very common drill and good way to develop that catch and pull. Essentially, you're swimming normally, but with a closed fist, not a tight fist, kind of a loose fist. But the key is to maintain a high elbow position through the extension and the catch phase. Make sure you have good hip rotation. Sometimes with this drill, there's a propensity to swim flat. And make sure you have a nice, long, extended, stretched out body. Excuse me, where you have good float. Your hand isn't acting to maintain some proper balance. So you want to be sure that you have a good stretched out body in order to perform this drill appropriately. Okay, so let's take a look at what this drill looks like in a video.
Swim drills are a vital part of every well-crafted swim set. I'm TriDoc coach and resident physiology specialist, Jeff Rains. And this is my good friend, three-time Olympian, Brendan Hansen. So with me on deck and Brendan in the pool, today we're going to show you fist swimming, also known as tennis ball drill. The purpose here is to develop a high elbow catch and create more surface area to pool water. Swim normal freestyle while maintaining a closed fist the entire stroke under and above water. Assess your body position and rotation throughout this drill. Use the entire surface area of your forearm. Some tidbits here. Your forearm is your paddle. Keep your elbow high during the underwater catch and pull phase. Don't rush the initial start of the catch phase by pressing too hard and too fast. You can swim this drill while actually holding tennis balls in your hands as well.
Okay, all right, so let's take a look at catch or front sculling drill, which is a complement to the fist drill. And in this drill, swim with your hands and arms out in front of you, okay? Elbows are bent just slightly, and your hands and arms move back and forth, sort of in a figure 8 motion, in order for you to get a feel for how the arms, hands, and forearms interact with the water. Strong kick, you may even consider using fins if you have a poor kick, and use of a buoy can also be very helpful. So using and then lastly, using a snorkel might also help you as well if you have a hard time with body balance, okay? All right, so let's take a look at what the front skull looks like in video. How the hands are in that figure 8 formation. This individual is using a pull buoy to maintain balance. Movement is quick and deliberate, where the hands go just outside the water. Very good for developing that feel for the water and how that front arm and forearm and hand are interacting with the water to perform a good catch. Okay, so let's talk about the vertical skull or high elbow skull. So this is another form of sculling, and your elbows, instead of being out in front of you, are bent at a 90-degree angle. You can see that here in this picture below. Okay, hand and forearms move back in a figure 8 motion. Again, very quick and repetitive. Again, a strong kick is important. Maybe use fins if needed, or use a buoy to maintain your balance. And of course, a snorkel is also optional to be able to help you maintain your balance. So let's take a look at what that drill looks like in video.
Swim drills are a vital part of every well-crafted swim set. I'm TriDoc coach and resident physiology specialist, Jeff Rains. And this is my good friend, 3-time Olympian, Brendan Hansen. So with me on deck and Brendan in the pool, today we are going to show you the high elbow scull. The purpose here is to develop a feel of the water and develop the phase of the stroke between the catch and pull through. This can help prevent a wide S shape, question mark, or S curve, and also prevent a straight arm pull through. Move each hand and forearm as a single unit and try to feel pressure of the water on every portion of your hand and forearm. Lay face in the water and keep elbows forward towards the top of your head. Both arms should be symmetric and just wider than the shoulders. Lower arms from elbow down will sweep back and forth, lower than the head and shoulders, more perpendicular to the surface. Some tidbits here. Keep your face and head low in the water when not breathing. Focus on enhanced proprioception of the catch and pull phase. Move forearms as one unit in a figure 8 pattern. Maintain smaller, quicker kicks.
Okay. All right. Several good drills. Got a couple more to cover. The next one is a paddle grab drill. And essentially, you're going to be swimming with paddles, but your paddles are not engaged in your hands. They're actually engaged more on the wrist and forearm. And when you grab your paddle, you're grabbing your paddle where you wrap the fingers over the front edge. Okay. Focus on high elbow position when you do this drill. And I recommend doing this drill in either 100-yard sets where you pull for do the pull paddle grab for 50 yards and do non-paddle swim for 50 yards. You can also do this in 200-yard sets where it's 100 yards of each. So a little bit longer than your standard drill, but it helps you really help you to focus on that high elbow catch. Okay, so let's take a look at what this drill looks like in video.
Keeping a straighter line from the fingertips through the forearm can help developing swimmers understand the idea of creating a larger surface with their arm to pull with. Why do it? While advanced swimmers can initiate the catch with a slight wrist break, it's important for developing swimmers to understand that creating a surface from fingertips through the forearm and then biceps and upper arm will give them the most effective push on the water. How to do it? Instead of wearing your paddle like you typically would, grab the paddle over the top. Swim freestyle as you normally do, but feel the base of the paddle pushing into your forearm. Try to maintain a straight line from the top of the paddle through the forearm. How to do it really well, the fine points. Exaggerate the wrist bend to feel the paddle pushing into your forearm. Then try to see if you can keep the paddle touching only lightly. Always reach full extension on each stroke to allow yourself the opportunity to learn a full pull.
Okay, another good drill is the thumb to hip drill. This drill, you're essentially swimming normal, but when you are finishing out at the hip, you open up your thumb, so you swipe along or brush along the hip, just below, right at the thigh, or just below where your head of your femur is touching, and you do that every single stroke. I typically recommend use this intermittently during main sets as a teaching cue. It's not oftentimes used as a drill either before or end of a main set, but it's often a good way to remind swimmers during a main set to have a good finish. Okay, and so when you look at this position of the hand as it finishes its pull and it's going into recovery phase, you want this thumb, excuse me, to be able to brush along the hip right here, okay, during each stroke before it recovers. And that brushing or touching sensation along the hip, along the upper thigh there, is your indication that you've done the drill correctly and you're finishing correctly, so that you can maximize your pull. Okay. And just as a reminder, we've covered a lot of drills today, and these drills we are discussing relative to the catch and pull and finish, but all drills help you with multiple aspects of your swimming, which is good because that way you can use the same drill to emphasize and correct different elements of your swim. So we talked about fist and sculling drill, and that's not only helpful for the catch and pull, but also good for rotation and kicking. Your paddle grab is also good for helping you with the rotation, besides catch and pull. And then the thumb to hip drive, the last drill that we covered, is also helpful for rotation and pull. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed this presentation, and until next time.